Morning everybody, it's spring officially, but not if you look out of the window. Walking down the garden path this morning, the polyanthers are flowering, the pansies have got their cheerful little faces up, but they're all wet and being blown around. So it's the old saying, spring has sprung, the grass is riz, I wonder where the birdies is. The birdie's on the wing, but that is quite absurd because everybody knows that the wing is on the bird. Talking of birds, spring is the time to introduce some new birds to your flock. So you can increase your egg production, or maybe replace a cockerel that's outlived his fertility. And so we're just going to go through a few basic rules about how to introduce new birds to your flock with the minimum amount of fuss and bloodshed. So when you're introducing your new birds to the flock, for start off with, make up your mind how many birds you're going to be introducing. The ideal number is about the same number you've got in your flock already. So if you've got 3, introduce another 3. If you've got 12, introduce another 12. Probably another 8 would do just fine. But what it does do is it dilutes the bullying. And so the birds that have established their pecking order are now just swamped by new birds effectively, and so they have to start off and work it all out again rather than having this fixed pecking order and one new bird there to come and really pick on. The other thing to do is to try and make sure that the birds are roughly the same size. Colour doesn't matter, but size does. If you've obviously introducing a bantam in with a small flock of 3 large hens, then it's going to get bullied badly. So that's not a good idea. The other thing is to make sure that you introduce at night. What I normally try and do is bring the new birds home, just put them safe somewhere for a while until the other birds are in bed up on the perches, and then just quietly open the back of the coop and place the new birds on the perches in the dark, so nobody's really aware of anything going on other than the fact that something's going on. They don't know what. And then in the morning, come down, open the coop up nice and early so they're not cooped up in there for too long in the morning, and then let them out into the run. That way they're all waking up together, and you know, they are clever at being chickens, but they're not clever, so they won't count how many chickens there were. The other thing to do is your established birds will try and guard the feeders and drinkers as being their property, so they'll try and restrict access of your new birds to feeders and drinkers. So the best thing to do is to get a spare feeder and drinker, or just a couple of bowls, something temporary, and put in the run, or even one in the house, so that the new birds can just sneak and have something to drink and have something to eat without the old birds guarding it and driving them off. Especially if your birds are in a restricted run, because they are going to get chased by the original birds, give them some refuges. The easiest way to do that is just to get an old cardboard box, crisp box or anything, and cut a hole in either end, like that. So the bird can run in one end, but have an exit the other end as well, so it can't be trapped inside. And then put it upside down, somewhere in the run. And then if the bird wants to get out of the way and keep itself safe, then it can go and hide in there for a while, because out of sight with chickens is out of mind. So it'll give them a break and take away the tension and stress of what's this new chicken doing in my run and who's that big bully chasing me. Obviously, anything you can do to distract both the new birds and the existing birds is great. So hanging up a cabbage, pecking balls, blocks or stones are a great thing, and just anything, hanging up CDs in the run, just anything to distract them, take their mind off the fact that there's new chickens in there. There will be a fuss. No matter how careful you are, no matter how carefully you introduce them, talk to them nicely, etc., there will be a fuss. How long that fuss goes on will be reduced by the measures that you can take. So like we said, refuges, things to do, extra feeders, introduce them at night, but you do actually have to harden yourself a little bit and walk away and leave them to it. Obviously, if you come back and there's serious physical damage being done to one of the birds, then you'll have to remove that bird and sort of go from there. But you do have to accept the fact that there will be some bullying while they reintroduce this pecking order with the new birds in it. If you do have to remove a bird because it's being bullied badly, then put the bird in a temporary house out of sight of the other birds for a little bit, because otherwise they'll just have it fixed in their mind that the bird's there and I can't get to it. And then reintroduce that bird in a separate house or a small wired off area or something like that, where the other birds can then see it after a while. And then hopefully after a period of time they'll actually get acclimatized to each other. If you find that you've got one bird that is an absolute bully, then remove her. So you take away the top dog, as it were, and put her in isolation for a few days. And then when she comes back in, her status within the flock will be reduced. And so that will reduce a lot of the bullying. Of course, if you've got the ability to have a cockerel, which not everyone has because obviously they make a noise, not a lot of people want a cockerel, but a cockerel reduces the bullying within a flock enormously, because effectively the cockerel is the bully, except he bullies in a different way. But it's normally not so bad on the girls. You don't end up with one hen that just bullies all the other hens, tries to stop them getting in the door. So often with a cockerel in there, he will exhibit an interest in the new birds when they arrive, and that dilutes any fuss from the older birds. So that works as well. If you've got the ability to have a cockerel, I'd always recommend it. A flock of hens is a much happier place with a cockerel, even if it's only a little bantam cockerel. I think that pretty much concludes introducing new birds. We'll see if the sun actually comes out for next week. And keep your eyes open for the next Ask Phill. Thank you very much for watching. If you've got any questions for Ask Phill, please email in to info@flytesofancy.co.uk. That's flight with a Y. Or you can go on to our Facebook channel, Flyte So Fancy Facebook channel, or our YouTube video channel, where all the Ask Phill questions are, and loads more videos from Flyte So Fancy. If you're interested in any products that have been featured on our videos, please have a look on our website, which is www.flytesofancy, again with a y.co.uk, and there's lots and lots of information, lots of products, and loads of chicken knowledge that's been garnered over the years. Also, just in case you're not on the internet, I'm not quite sure how you're watching this, but we also do a printed catalogue as well, which is we're just printing this year's now. So thank you very much indeed for watching. Bye bye.